Hello, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube. Welcome to King Steve Arias here, and today we are talking about two of the new buffed operators, which is Tachanka and also Montonia. Now, I say Montonia. I know some people call it something else, but I'm gonna call her Montonia. So don't get on me about that. All right. Anywho, we've got Tachanka up first because I'm using Tachanka up first. I get a pretty dirty kill here. I get two dirty kills right off the bat with Tachanka here. Just watch and see what I do. But it's impressive how much Tachanka has changed just with a couple of improvements. A friend of mine really uses Tachanka a lot, and I could not play with him. I tried so many times, but you have to be super smart with Tachanka. I think that's what throws people off the most. You have to play smart with him. You can't play stupid. You can't just put up his turn anywhere. You have to constantly keep moving his turn if that is necessary. And he's just so much better than he was. Um, I think the biggest if you don't know what Tachanka's what they buffed with him, I'm gonna tell you. He can now move into corners, which is perfect. He can move into those corners that nobody can, and he just corner camps basically, and it's beautiful. And also he can get out of his turret super fast, super duper fast. There's one kill, and then there's two kills. There it is. Yeah, good kills, good kills. And then I get killed by thermite. Yeah, great. That sucks. Anyways, I got 2-for-1. That's a 2-for-1 special, guys. 2-for-1 special. That's great. But Tachanka is just so much better now, and he can also get out of his turret faster. I cannot tell you right now how many times that has saved my butt already. Being able to get out of that turret super fast. Now, sometimes you won't get out of it fast enough, and the biggest problem with Tachanka's turret is your head is the most vulnerable thing there. Even if you put a shield up, even if you put that shield up there for protection, you still have that worry of getting that headshot. And in this game, that's brutal. That's a brutal fact. I don't know how to buff him any more than he has been. There's been talk about giving him a shield, but I don't know. That might be too overpowered, especially for Tachanka. He just has such that gun is so powerful. I think he's good right now, but if they gave him just a little bit more oomph, I feel like he could really be good. But I'm gonna teach you. I'm gonna just give you guys a couple of tips from what I have found. Now, obviously, you don't have to take my advice. You can do whatever the freak you want. But I think these would really help you. Number one, don't put your Tachanka turn down right at the start. At least not while there's drones around. Information is key, and if they can find out where you are, you're a sitting duck, and they always know where you're at. I have had times where they just avoid me altogether. I set a turret down somewhere, and they know that I'm there, but they just completely avoid me. They just go right around me. Or they just poke their head around real quickly and get a cheeky headshot, and it sucks. Because you're sitting there on the ground, you're like, dang it, dude, Tachanka sucks, right? So constantly keep your Tachanka turret moving. Actually, in the next clip, I keep getting spotted and I keep moving, but yeah, I'm gonna have another lesson that I'm going to tell about that as well. Lesson number 2: you don't have to use the Tachanka turn, okay? If you can't find a good spot to use it, just leave it alone. Don't use it. Just use your wits and stay around. Stay around the objective. Try to camp it out a little bit. Do what you can to try to help your teammates out. You are a 3 armored person regardless of whether you have your Tachanka turn or not. And your guns are not that bad. Kapkan's submachine gun is pretty good, man. You can be pretty deadly with that submachine gun. Now you have a shield you can place, and you can kind of camp in the corner or whatever. But if you're placing your turret down everywhere and you can't find a good spot, don't worry about it. Just move on and try to find a spot that you can just kind of camp in for now, and try to help your team out the best way that you know how. So, I mean, just do. I find that that's been very helpful, because what ends up happening is you try to place your turret down somewhere, and then you finally get it placed down, and then you get headshotted, and it just infuriates you. It's infuriated me plenty of times. That's one of my biggest things. Now, he can place his turret down in a lot more spots, and that solves that issue quite a bit. but you still can't place it everywhere. There are still spots that you can't quite place it, and it's okay. It works. It works for what it is, but um, you know, everything else included, it's a great, great thing. Um, the next bit of advice that I would definitely have to give if you're Tachanka is think about places that are very high traffic. If you know a spot that's super high traffic, like at the beginning of the round, I know people are going to try to thermite that wall. I know people are going to try to do that. So what do? I went right upstairs and I was like, I'm going to wait for him. I'm going to wait for him right here. And I'm going to place my turn up, pick it up. And what I would have done after that, I should have got out of my turn. See? Also, if you're, well, okay, I'll cover that in a second here. But, just try to find a place that you can sneak up behind people. And you know what you can even do now, even with Valkyrie, it's even better. Tachanka's even better with Valkyrie because, you know what? With Valkyrie, you can look on the cameras and you can hide behind walls, and then once you know where they're at, you can just spray through that wall, bro. Spray through that wall like it's nobody's business, and you win. I mean, that's all there is to it. You can mow down an entire team if they're right there, or two or three people that if they're right behind a wall that's completely unreinforced, you just shred them and take them down. I've had friends do that before, and my one friend that really likes to play Tachanka, he's done that a couple times, and it is awesome. It's great. It's really great. Um, the Tachanka turret is really strong and powerful thing, and you shouldn't underestimate it. But you should also understand that you don't need it to play as Tachanka. That's what I'm gonna say. All right. Now that I've got all that out of the way, I think I was gonna say something else, but I don't think it's all that important. I would say, but anyways, going back to Tachanka, I think he's a really good operator. I think that he's very underused at this point in time, and I think people can really learn to use him in creative and unique ways. And you should definitely try to. I encourage people to try to use Tachanka when they feel like they're comfortable enough to. Okay, next up on the list, let's talk about Montonia. All right, Montonia. I have to be honest. Before this buff, I never used Montonia. Like, I think I used her. I checked. I used her for like an hour at the most. I think I have like 13 hours with her now. It's been like night and day for me, man. It's been like night and day. I have used her to no end, and I'm not sure what it is. I'm not sure why. Just so let me explain to you what her buff was, okay? She was like a wall, right? Like she had this massive wall and it was really hard, but you could still get her on the sides, right? Now she has 180-degree protection and she's a freaking beast, man. She can't be shot down by nobody. You can take as many bullets as you can take, man. You can, as long as they don't outflank you. Now, they outflank you, and you are screwed. I mean, you are just done, man. There is no saving your hide. There is no compromise there. You are dead. But if you can keep the enemy in front of you, and if you can avoid nitro cells, she is a god tier freaking operator. Like she really he. I'm calling her she. I'm sorry, Montonia. It's a he. It's definitely here. Montonia is a he. But it sounds like a girl's name when I say Montonia, even though that's not really how it's pronounced. But we're not gonna. Yeah, we'll leave that alone. But Montonia is just so much better. I use her Magnum. I know some people don't like her Magnum, but I use her Magnum. I think that the least amount of shots I have to get on them, the better. And so if I miss those 6 shots, I'm really in trouble. But if I make those 6 shots, it's really going to count. And I'm getting better and better with the revolver, so I'm doing really good. All you need is 2 shots to down someone or to kill them. Either way. I mean, you can get one with a headshot no matter what, but that's why, like, some people like spamming that. Some people like spamming that pistol, and that's why they like the other one. But I mean, it is what it is. Um, Montonia, what is she good for? Well, number one, she can block a ton of damage. Obviously, she can take a ton of damage. She is great for secure area. Just like you saw in the very one of the very first clips. I was able to block off an entire area. They couldn't get in. They couldn't do anything. The only way that they could get me out of that spot is if they nitrocelled me. That was it. I've actually trapped people in corners before and just said, "Teammate, come here," and I've got someone trapped in the corner. I wish I could. I think I do have that on a video clip. Actually, I'll have to post that. That would be really cool. But I actually posted some dude like and locked him up in the corner with Montoya. He couldn't get out. It was stinking hilarious, man. And I just waited, and I had my teammate just shoot him right in the head. It was beautiful. It was awesome, and I loved every second of it. But she's so good for so many reasons. She can secure areas by herself if need be in certain situations. Now, obviously that's specific. There has to only be one way in. And you have to make sure that there are no nitro cells available. When I go into a match with Montoya, the first thing I do is I look at the operators and I decide how many nitro cells do they have, okay? And I count off. When I hear a nitro cell go off, I'm like, okay, that's 1, that's 2, that's 3, okay? It's typically about 3 or 2. That's about the typical team. But when people are really wanting you dead, oh my goodness, dude. When people want you dead, they will go 5. They will go 5. They will run Valkyrie, Mute, what are the other like 5 bandits? There's 3 more that they'll use. Oh, Smoke and Captain. Yep, those are the 5, and they will run that. And I in ranked teams, we had people that literally ran 5 just to kill me, and they still didn't kill me. It was really funny. They switched up their entire team to kill me, and they still didn't kill me. One of the ways to get around this is, especially on like smaller maps, one of the best ways to do is, especially on like places like Plane or even Yacht, and you hear a nitro cell, have a Thatcher just throw something in there. I had one time I was playing with the team, and I said, dude, guys, just throw a Thatcher grenade in there. He got like 3 nitro cells, 3 of them. I don't know why there were 3 nitro cells out to begin with, but he got like 3 of them, and they are just great for overall like being able to stop. And oh, dude, it's ridiculous, man. It's freaking great to have Montoya and Thatcher. And then the other guy I would definitely recommend with Montoya is Blackbeard. Now, Blackbeard's already really, really good. I mean, I'll talk about him in a later video. I'll be going over Valkyrie and Blackbeard as I get more acquainted with them because I just got them today. Anyways, Blackbeard is so good. He's so good with freaking Montoya, because what happens is you look at Montoya and you're like, oh, there's only one dude, and then Blackbeard pokes around the shield with his freaking shield on his gun and he just headshots you, and you're like, what the freak? People were raging on the other team. I mean, you can't hear them, but you gotta know that they were probably flipping out, getting so upset and stuff like that, because we used that tactic. Oh my goodness, I can't tell you how many. Now, we don't use it in this video, but definitely later on, we definitely do, and it works out really well. Honestly, this can work with any operator, but it works better with Blackbeard, obviously, because, well, he just has that shield, and that's great to have extra protection. Anyways, guys, that's about what this video wraps up. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys like what you saw here, please subscribe. It means so much. Leave a comment. That always makes me happy. And I'll see you guys in the next Rainbow Six Siege video. Bye-bye, guys.